In this video, you will learn how to use a civil construction system of measurement, which is called stationing. The term graphic convention simply means an industry-recognized way of showing the work on a set of construction plans. This topic is important to you since you will encounter civil plan sets in most types of construction projects. Civil work and civil plans are somewhat different than building plans. Civil work by definition is non-building work. Some examples of civil work are site development, that is, grading underground utilities and pavements. Additional examples could include highways, bridges, waterways, etc. Much of civil work has a linear aspect, that is, that it's long and fairly narrow, such as roads, streets, pipelines, etc. Stationing is used so that any item of work along a linear project can be accurately located. Since this topic is important, let's understand how stationing works. A station is simply a unit of measure that's equal to 100 feet in length. Stations are always measured from a center line, so here we have a center line, and the stations are indicated with tick marks along this center line. The numeric convention for stationing we see up here, and let me get some highlight color here. And in the center of our value, we'll always have a plus sign. Change the color here. And to the right of that plus is any value up to and including 99 feet. Okay? And another color. And optionally, we can insert a decimal place. Into the right of that decimal place, then we can show any value up to and including 0.99 feet. And one more color here. To the left of the plus sign, then, we can show values in hundreds of feet, thousands of feet, and if necessary even 10,000s of feet. Here's some format examples then, and notice the first one, station 0 plus 0, 0. This is normally used to indicate the beginning of a stationing system, so the beginning point on a road or a pipeline, etc. And another example then would be 0 plus 75. I think we understand then that that would be 75 feet away from the starting point. Same thing with station 3 plus 0, 0. And here's an interesting one, 29 plus 52.81. And that obviously then indicates 2,952.81 feet away from station 0 plus 0, 0. Now notice when we write stations, we do not use the common hash mark that we might otherwise use to indicate a foot. Okay, so here's how our center line would look. And notice that even stations are usually shown and labeled. By even, I mean every 100 feet. And then if there are other aspects of the work that are important, we can insert stations where necessary, 0 plus 75. And then here, for example, station 2 plus 26.75. Let's look at a segment from a road construction project. And first thing, let's find our stationing. So here's 73 plus 0, 0, and there's the tick mark. 74 plus 0, 0 is kind of hidden here. 75, and so on. And what we have right here then is an intersection. And our main road here is called Meridian Bottom Road, and it's intersecting, as we can see here, with Bowling Road. And looking back here at the center line, we can also see that we've got a couple of driveways that are shown. So the question is, we have this major intersection, Bowling Road, Meridian Bottom Road. How far away is this point from the beginning of the project? And that answer is right here in the stationing. Station 73 plus 71.98, which tells us it's 7,371.98 feet from the beginning from station 0 plus 0, 0. And note also that Bowling Road has its own set of stations. In this case, it begins with 10 plus 00 right here, 10 plus 50, and here's 11 plus 00. We can see it here. Okay, so we've learned how to locate any point along the center line, but what about work that is not exactly on the center line? For this example, let's consider installing a water line. Now, if you are standing at the center line looking from a low station towards a higher station, we can say then that the project would have a left and a right side. Just remember, you're always looking from low to high. And let's say that we need to install a fire hydrant about here. And by the way, these symbols, this symbol here indicates a valve, and this symbol itself indicates the hydrant. How could the location of the hydrant then be shown on the plans? Well, we know it's somewhere between station 2 plus 00 and 3 plus 00, and we also know that it's to the right of the center line, okay? So we could designate it like this: 26 feet right at station 2 plus 47. So that would tell us exactly what these dimension lines would represent here, but we wouldn't have to clutter up the plan by using these dimension lines. So this would be called the station and an offset. Let's go back to another part of our road plan, and again, let's just figure out our stationing. 29 plus 00, 30 plus 00, here's 33 up here. I think we understand that. And let me change colors here. Let's look at this section of guardrail. Okay? And where does the guardrail begin? And if we look over here, then the guardrail starts right here, and it's 28 feet left of the center line, and it begins in at station 30 plus 30. See that? And then this guardrail sort of tapers closer to the road, and right here it's very close to the road, and we can see from these offsets it's 21 feet to the left of the road, and the first point occurs at 31 plus 30, and then at 31 plus 50 it starts to taper back, and at 32 plus 50 we're fully back to 28 feet left of the center line. Suppose you're the estimator now and you want to understand how long this section of guardrail is. Well, that's real simple. What you'll do is take the starting station, 30 plus 30, and subtract it from the ending station, 32 plus 50. And that would tell us that this particular piece of guardrail is 220 feet long. Okay, let's summarize what we've just learned. A plan convention is an industry standard way of illustrating something on a construction document. Civil work is non-building work, and it's horizontal in nature. And sometimes civil work can be not only horizontal but linear. That is, fairly long and quite narrow, such as a street or road or pipeline, etc. And we learned that by using stationing and offsets, left to right offset dimensions, it's possible to locate any point along the work.